Honestly, you people are like animals marking your territory everywhere. Is this how you all act in the jungle you came from? Yeah, that's how my Saturday started. Let me set the scene for you, because you're not going to believe this. Picture a perfect early fall morning, sky a crisp blue, that kind of air that wakes you up a little extra, no alarms, no plans but to drink good coffee and finally give my Ferrari 488 GTB the bath it deserved. Yeah, my car, bright red, over the top, every curve a reminder of years of double shifts, skipped vacations, and nickels saved from a job that doesn't exactly hand out Ferraris for free. For a kid from where I grew up, that car wasn't just metal and horsepower. It was proof that I'd made it. That hard work sometimes does pay off. So there I am in my driveway, bucket in one hand, soapy mitt in the other, old school soul playing from a Bluetooth speaker. I'm in my happy place. The sun's bouncing off the hood, the kind of peace you wish you could bottle up. My neighborhood's one of those manicured, HOA-heavy suburbs where even the mailbox color gets a vote, but mostly it's quiet. Except for her. You know her type. The pink tracksuit, helmet blonde hair, face set in a permanent sneer like someone keeps farting in her direction. We'd never actually spoken, but she'd given me the look every time I rolled in with my car. That look that says, "How dare you?" That morning, as I'm finishing the hood, I see her coming down the sidewalk. Her power walk is more like a military stomp, travel mug clutched so tight, I swear the coffee inside's nervous. She doesn't even look at me, just glares at the car like it's a biohazard. I keep my head down, focus on a smudge, try not to give her the satisfaction. But then she stops right at the edge of my driveway, takes a sip so slow and dramatic it should win an award, and drops that line. The jungle, the animals, all of it. It lands like a grenade. For a second, I think maybe I misheard. But nope, she meant every syllable. I stand up, mitt dripping, and just look at her. Not a word. Just that stare you give someone when you want them to know you heard them, loud and clear. She's got her eyes on my house, my car, my world, and there's nothing accidental about it. My day off, my peace, instantly over. Music still playing, birds chirping, but now the whole world's gone off kilter. I take a breath. Years of training telling me to de-escalate, stay professional. But let me tell you, sometimes the part of you that wants to be the calm cop is at war with the part that's just a black man in America, angry, hurt, and tired of swallowing it. Still, I keep my voice level. "Excuse me, what did you just say?" I ask. She gives me a look, up and down, dismissing me like I'm a nobody, and then she smirks. That smirk was the whole story right there, her clutching that mug like a trophy, victorious in her own head. And then she does it. Trips. I say that with the biggest air quotes you've ever seen. A slow, movie-style stumble, and her coffee mug just happens to fling open, hurling a wave of hot brown sludge directly onto my Ferrari's passenger door. Splat. It's almost impressive, if you forget for a second that it's pure malice. The stain blooms, dripping down the paint, and she lets out the fakest little oops you ever heard. And then she smiles, eyes sparkling with satisfaction, like she's just marked her territory. I just stare. 10 seconds. 20. All the pride I had for that car, for the work it represented, dripping away with every brown streak. The professional in me is screaming to handle it by the book, but the car guy in me, the kid who dreamt of owning something like this, is seeing red. Finally, I manage to say, "You did that on purpose." Flat. Calm. She gasps, clutching her chest. "I most certainly did not. I tripped. You saw me, already painting me as aggressive, and all I'd done was call out the obvious." I try one last time for decency. Tell her about the paint, how coffee is acidic. Just ask her to admit what she did and make it right. She ramps up, blames my music for startling her, makes herself the victim. That's when the cop voice comes out, steady, low. "You intentionally damaged my property. Now we can handle this like adults, or I can call the police and file a report for vandalism." That was my mistake. The second she heard police, her whole demeanor changed. Not fear, but opportunity. She pulls out her phone, thumb hovering, her voice trembling. "You're threatening me? Oh, I see how it is. You think you can intimidate me?" She calls 911, spinning the most ridiculous story you've ever heard. Big, aggressive man, drugs, threats. She's acting, and she's good. I can hear her painting the picture, every old racist trope you can think of, building the narrative, stacking the deck. I'm standing there, hands open, 50 feet away, but she's telling them I'm trapping her, attacking, demanding money. I know exactly how that call will sound. I pull out my phone, call my sergeant, tell him what's happening, beg for backup, someone who knows me, someone who'll believe my side before the cavalry shows up with guns drawn. He tells me not to engage, just wait. A siren wails in the distance, hers, not mine. She hears it, gives a little smile, and, for her grand finale, lets out a shriek and collapses onto my lawn, clutching her knee, screaming, "He kicked me." My knee. The performance is so bad it's almost comedy, except for the gun in the officer's hand a minute later as he screams for me to get on the ground. I comply, heart pounding. Her husband rolls up, barrels past the cops, screaming, and takes a wild swing at me. I duck, he falls, chaos erupts. Their son arrives in a pickup, bigger, meaner, and launches himself at me. I roll, he falls, and suddenly I'm pinned, hands behind my back, a cop yelling in my ear, her shrieking, her husband and son thrashing, accusations flying. It's chaos, and all I can think is, I'm an officer. I did nothing wrong, but I'm about to get shot on my own damn driveway. That's when my sergeant arrives. One look at him, and everything freezes. He gets me off the ground, his presence cutting through the madness. He looks at the rookie. "What do you think you're doing to my detective?" The narrative shatters. Faces pale, the family goes from righteous to terrified. My sergeant points to the camera on my porch, the one that's been recording everything in 4K the whole time. You can see the fight drain out of the husband and son. The woman's face goes gray. Turns out, the camera caught it all. Her words, her smirk, the accident, the whole Broadway routine. The officers start cuffing her husband and son for assault. My sergeant tells her she's under arrest for a false police report. She tries one last gasp of privilege, swearing her husband is an important man and they'll regret this. I just shake my head. Her important husband is in cuffs. Their son is sobbing about lawsuits. The only thing left is the truth. As the cars pull away and the scene empties out, I see what she did before the cops arrived. A 4-foot section of my picket fence is obliterated, tire tracks dug deep into the lawn. In her rage, she tried to peel out, drove her SUV right through my fence, then played the victim harder than ever. My sergeant, hearing about it, adds destruction of property to the list. The camera? Caught that too. The rest of my day's a blur. Insurance, police reports, a call from her lawyer threatening to sue for distress. He even files a complaint with Internal Affairs, saying I intimidated her. For a week, I live in limbo. Neighbors peeking from behind curtains, my own department grilling me, wondering if my badge will protect me from her lies. The stress is unreal. But justice, believe it or not, sometimes works. The DA, a no-nonsense prosecutor, calls me in. She says, I have never seen defendants document their own crimes so thoroughly. The plea deal comes. Felony vandalism and false reporting for the woman, assault for her husband and son, restitution, probation, and an ironclad restraining order. And they sign a sworn affidavit retracting their complaint against me. The case closes, the family's house goes up for sale. The legend of Coffee Karen spreads. A month later, my car's restored, my fence is new, and my neighbors, yeah, even the ones who watched from behind the hydrangeas, are suddenly a little friendlier. Mrs. Gable, bless her, walks over one morning and says, "You have friends on this street. We're glad you're here." The moving truck for the family rolls up a week after that. They tried to run me out, but in the end, they're the ones leaving in disgrace. The aftershocks stick with me, though. Every time I see a rookie cop, I tell them, don't buy the easy story. Look closer. Listen. And I know now that it could have been different. If I wasn't a cop, if I didn't have that camera, if I'd lost my cool. That knowledge changes you, leaves a mark. I try not to let it steal my peace, but it's there. Life gets back to something like normal. Then, at a car show almost a year later, I see the son, thinner, quieter, humbled. He stares at my Ferrari, says nothing, turns away. And for the first time, I feel the anger lift. He's paying his price. I'm living my life. The story will get told and retold, a warning, a punchline, a lesson about truth, about hate, about holding your ground. And as I'm washing my car one last time, a kid wanders up, eyes wide. "Is that your car?" he asks, barely believing. It is, I say. Can I take a picture? You know what? I tell him, why don't you hop in? Because sometimes, the best way to mark your territory is with kindness and not letting anyone take your joy away. So tell me, if you'd been in my shoes, would you have handled it the same way? Or do you think the system only works when the cameras are rolling? I really want to hear your take. Where does justice begin and end in a neighborhood like this? Drop your thoughts below.